Hey guys, this is North back again with another video. Today's video, I'm going to give you my top 10 resinous and balsamic fragrances of 2021. But before I do that, what are resins and balsams? Resins and balsams are the tiers or the resins that are extracted from trees or plants. So commercially what they'll do is they'll cut the tree, right? And then the resins, the tears will come off of it and they collect it and then they sell it. So frankincense and myrrh are the most popular ones to think about. So this is an example of myrrh resin, all right? And the other one is this one, which I think looks really cool, but this one is Arabic gum. It's coming all off. So, but Arabic gum isn't used in perfumery. What it's mostly used in is a lot of everyday products. It's used in paints. It's used in food. It's used in chewing gum. All these type of things that it's used for. But commercially, it's sold here. People get it. They put it in boiled water and they drink it. It's supposed to have benefits for like your kidneys and things like that. So the same with frankincense and the same with myrrh. They do put boiling water on it and they drink the water from that. But anyway, so that's what resins and balsams are. So simply resins come from trees and balsams come from plants. But the term resinous or balsamic are terms that can be used interchangeably. And for the sake of the video, I will probably just use the word resinous, but so let's get into it. But again, before I do, this list is only going to contain a specific type of resinous or balsamic scents. And these are going to be ones that are more sweet. It's not going to be any that are dominant with the note of frankincense, because I already prior did a top 10 video of my favorite incense fragrances. I also did a awesome 15 incense fragrances in another video. So I won't be featuring any fragrances that smell like churchy incense or anything like that. This is just strictly going to be more resinous, balsamic, sweet scents. So let's go ahead and get into it. Number 10 on my list is from the house of Ormonde Jayne, and this is Tolu. Right, may be hard to see with the light, but this is Tolu. Tolu, which is named after the balsam itself, was released in 2002. This one has orange blossom, rose, Tolu balsam, Tonka bean, and frankincense. What's good about this one, or is unique about this one, is that it does open up with citruses. You get a little bit of citrus from the top, but what's the best about this is the dry down. When it dries down, you get the comforting or resinous scents from it. So the Tolu starts to come out, the vanilla starts to come out, a little bit of the frankincense starts to come out, but it's really more of a Tolu type of scent than it is frankincense, but it's in there to support it. And this one I have at number 10. So again, this is my top 10 list. All right, these are my 10 favorite resinous or balsamic fragrances that I have in my collection. And at the end, I will have three honorable mentions. Number 9 is from the house of Molton Brown, and this is Milk Musk. Milk Musk was released last year in 2020. This one has Elemi resin, this has musk, vanilla, Ambroxan, Tonka bean, and Benzoin. So this one is a Benzoin vanillic type of scent. I'm wearing it right now, but it does have a sense of milkiness to it. Maybe it's coming from the white musk and the Ambroxan. So that's what makes this a little bit different from some of the other ones in the list, but this one is definitely an awesome scent. I'm glad they were sold out of the eau de parfum at one point. It does come in an eau de toilette. I did get a chance to sample it after I purchased this one, and the eau de toilette is very similar to this, and the note breakdown is very similar. So this is number 9 on my list, Molton Brown, Milk Musk. Number 8 on my list is going to be one that I'm sure people would think that it would be higher on the list, because this is an extremely popular fragrance, and this is from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and this is Soir. All right. Brand Soir was released in 2016. This one has notes of benzoin, vanilla, tonka bean, and labdanum. This one right here, I did pick up. I sampled it. I had a discovery set from MFK, and this was one I tried. I remember when I got out of the shower, I sprayed it, and then I put it on my bathrobe, and then just the scent that was coming off the bathrobe from days forward, I was like, oh man, I definitely have to pick this up. But it's a little bit lower on my list because I have ones that I like a little bit more, and then when I finally wore this like all day on skin, it just didn't have the type of like projection from it that I thought that I would have based on other like benzoin vanilla fragrances I have in my collection. So nonetheless, it's great. So this one's number 8, Brand Soir from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Number 7 is coming from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. This is from their private collection, and this is Caftan. Caftan is really great. I'm glad I was able to find it at one of my spots. I tried never to pay retail. Some of these on my list I did pay retail for, but I didn't pay retail for this one. And this one on the front, it has my like 2 favorite notes that I gravitate towards, and this is incense, and it says Benjoin on it. So this is definitely right up my alley, so I had to get it. This one has pink pepper, tangerine, benzoin, styrax, labdanum, and musk. This one has just like a tad bit of smokiness to it, and like an incensey type of feel to it, but it's mostly like vanilla, benzoin quality with a little bit of pepper to it. So coming in at number 7 is Caftan from Yves Saint Laurent. Number 6 on my list is an awesome find that I had, later on this year. And this one is from the house of Moresque, and this is Seta. Seta was released in 2018. The notes on this one are saffron, bergamot, myrrh, vanilla, sandalwood, benzoin. This one is very similar to some of the other ones that are at the top of my list. So it's benzoin and vanilla. That's pretty much what you get from it. But I just love that scent. I just think that it's very comforting. It's very like almost spiritual in a sense, you know what I mean? I'm using that word loosely, but it's just something that is therapeutic. That's a better word that I want to say. It's a little bit more therapeutic for me. I just really like the scent, and this one fits the bill for it. This is a scent that I found on my own, just based on the note breakdown and sampling. So I don't see anyone talking about this online when it comes to this house, Moresque. They do talk about a couple other ones, but this one is awesome. This one comes in at number 6, Seta from Moresque. Now, breaking the top 5. 2 out of these top 5 are ones that are not vanilla benzoin type of fragrances, but they are balsamic. They do have the balsams in it, and this makes up the core of these scents. And one of them, it comes in at number 5, and this is from the house of Stefan Humber-Lucas, and this is Umma. Umma was released in 2013. I do have a review of this on my channel where I talk about this, but first the notes are rose, jasmine, Tolu balsam, Peru balsam, oud, cypriol, and cedar. So this one, as I said in the review, it smells exactly like a incense or a bakur here that they call mahmoud. It smells exactly like that. So for me, here where I live, that smell is not an uncommon smell, right? It's a very common smell, but it's not a common smell in perfumery. I've never smelled a perfume that smells exactly like the mahmoud incense, and this was it. I really wish I could have found this like locally, meaning from some of the Arab brands or things like that, because this seems like a no-brainer. But I had to go to Stefan Humber-Lucas to get that. So this is number 5 on my list. This is Umma. Number 4 on the list is one that I had to pick up. It's one I had to have. I do regret how much it cost, but I had to have it in my collection, and this is from the house of the Labo, and this is the city exclusive Benjoin 19. Benjoin 19 was released in 2013. This is a Moscow city exclusive, so if you're not in Moscow, the only time that you can get this fragrance is in September. This has benzoin, frankincense, cedar, amber, and musk. This one is the vanilla benzoin scent. It does have a little bit of smokiness to it. A little bit less than I'd say Caftan as far as the incense, but this one is a great scent. I'm very happy that I do have it in my collection. I would definitely hold on to it for dear life. I don't see myself buying another bottle of it, not at that price. If I end up in Moscow, or if they end up just making it part of the regular line, because I already think Labo, the regular prices are more than I want to spend, and this is almost double the price of that. But coming in at number 4, this is Benjoin 19 from the house of Labo. Number 3 on my list is definitely as I said to someone, a top 5 fragrance in my entire collection. I'm so happy that I was able to find a tester bottle of it, but if I did pay retail for it, I wouldn't be mad. It's not one that's for everybody, and this is Champs Oud. Champs Oud is a resinous, balsamic, spicy scent. This is not an oud based fragrance, so the oud in it is a little bit misleading. This one has oil of ginger, cashmeran, oud, pepper, rose, tonka bean, Tolu balsam, Styrax, and Labdanum. This scent right here, it lasts a very long time. This is something that if I were to find another tester bottle, I'd buy it, but I don't know if I would ever even get to it because this is a very strong, projecting, long-lasting scent. And this one is just, as I've described, it's resinous, it's spicy, it's something that is just like very unique. I think that is the best from the house. I think that it's much better than African leather, and that's just my opinion. But Champs Oud, this one comes at number 3. I have 2 more ahead of this one, but this is a winner in my eyes all day, every day. Number 2 on my list is from the Armani Privé collection. This one was number 1 on my top 5 Armani Privé video, and this is Myrrh Imperial. Myrrh Imperial was released in 2013. This one, of course, has myrrh, amber, benzoin, vanilla, saffron, and pink pepper. This one, to me, is the best myrrh fragrance on the market. I do have a video comparing this with Myrrh Absolute from CH. I can't even remember, Carolina Herrera. So I compared those two, and this one is no match. I mean, that one is no match for this one. This one, I just love. This is a scent that I love. I have to keep in my collection. I will use these sparingly. You know, only way I would get backup bottles, if I only had a few fragrances, then maybe, you know, if I was using it a lot. But these are scents that I don't like to wear every day, because I don't want to get tired of the scent. Once I smell something too much, I sort of get tired of it, and I don't want that to happen to these because I do love these scents. So that's number 2, Myrrh Imperial from the Armani Privé collection. Now to the number 1. Number 1 on my list is one that I learned about through the perfume guy on Instagram, but I watched his YouTube videos. Sebastian, I believe his video used to be called Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews, and he changed it to the Perfume Guy. And this one is from the house of Diptyque, which is also one of my favorite houses, and it also has another fragrance which is one of my favorites in my entire collection, that's Volutes. But this one is Benjoin Bohème. Benjoin Bohème. It's a really great bottle. It's a really gorgeous bottle. This particular one was released in 2015. This one has benzoin, Peru balsam, rock rose, which is labdanum, and patchouli. This one is the epitome of what a benzoin fragrance should smell like. This is hands down number 1. When I was reading reviews on it, besides what he was saying about the fragrance, reading reviews on Fragrantica, people were saying that the projection or the longevity of it was weak. And for me, this is one of the longest lasting ones. As far as the benzoin and vanillic ones, this is one of the longest lasting, biggest projecting ones on my skin. You know, it's definitely no match for Shams Oud. Shams Oud is just on a whole other planet. But this one is beautiful, cozy, benzoin, resinous, vanillic, balsamic. You know, it has a little bit of patchouli in it. This one is just a beautiful scent. He did mention on Instagram that he heard a rumor that this had been discontinued. Hopefully it hasn't. But if it has, I'm glad I got my bottle. I got this, I purchased this from Selfridges. It is still available on the Diptyque website. I'm not in a position where I want to get a backup bottle now, but if I didn't have this in my collection, I would be very sad. I think sometime in the future, when I have some extra money, and if there is another bottle available, because this one isn't extremely expensive, and that's what's so great about this one as well. This is less expensive than Armani Privés, than the Yves Saint Laurent private collection, from Humber Lucas, than the Benjoin 19. It's cheaper than those. You know, this one I believe retails for about a 200 US, and this is the best. This is number one. And so that's my list. I will give you my 3 honorable mentions right now. So let's start with, from the house of Jeroboam, this is Ambra. So Ambra, I wore earlier today. People compared this to L'Air du Désert Marocain from Andy Tower. And when you smell them separately, they do smell similar, but when you put them side by side, which is what I did today, they're completely different. L'Air du Désert Marocain is drier, it is more spicy, whereas this one is more sweet. This one has notes of incense, bergamot, Peru balsam, tonka bean. What I like about this particular house is that they're all like straight to parfums, and even though you only get an ounce, they're charging around $100 for this. So I think it's a pretty good price for what you get. That's my first honorable mention. The next honorable mention comes from my original favorite house, one that got me into fragrances, and this is from the house of Joe Malone, and this is Myrrh and Tonka. This particular one, Myrrh and Tonka, this one is called a Cologne Intense. So I don't know if that's more closer to Eau de Parfum, because most of her perfumes are cologne or Eau de Cologne. This one has lavender, myrrh, tonka bean, vanilla, and almond. This one is definitely a great honorable mention. This is one that is, you know, up there for me, but it's not top 10. But this is definitely one to check out if you're into the myrrh, tonka, vanillic type of fragrances. And the last one on my list is one that I blind bought off of Amazon because no one carries it here. And this is from the House of Imaginary Authors. And this is Memoirs of a Trespasser. What's great about this house is that they break down the notes right here. So this one has Madagascar vanilla, Gaiac wood, myrrh, bergamot, benzoin, ambret seeds, and oak barrels. So just reading the note breakdown, this one, I was like, man, this one's right up my alley. I definitely have to pick this one up. So it was between that or buying a Discovery set, and I opted to buy this because I didn't want to be like, man, I really like it, because ordering Amazon overseas, it gets expensive. So I just blind bought this. I do like this scent. It's not my top 10, but my wife, she really loves this scent. So I'll definitely be wearing it more. Hopefully, maybe my 2022 list, if I do this list again, maybe it'll move up there. But about this one, it's a lot smokier than I thought that it would be. You know, it does have almost like it has a smoke note in it. That's sort of how it comes off. But it's a great scent nonetheless. That's why I'm mentioning it. I could have mentioned 3 or 4 other fragrances, but I wanted to mention these because these are definitely ones worth checking out, and they may be your top 5 of resinous and balsamic fragrances. So I do thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I do thank you, all the subscribers, for getting me to the landmark of 100 subscribers. That is a very big deal for me. I appreciate it. So please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for future videos. Do you know any of these fragrances? Do you like any of these fragrances? What are some that you have that may be resinous or balsamic that I need to check out? Please let me know in the comments. Let's keep the dialogue going. And I do appreciate your time. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.